Okay, hello everyone. Today what we're going to be talking about is why you can get into trouble with credit cards if you don't make the full payment right on time. We're going to learn today how to calculate the cost of using a credit card by hand. In the future, we're going to use an online calculator or even possibly a computer in order to do this. So the idea here is that credit cards are great. They allow you to pay for things that you wouldn't necessarily have as much, you wouldn't be walking around with that much cash on you. They allow you to pay for things right there. Where people can get into trouble with them is if you put something on your credit card and you can't pay the entire bill. The credit card company charges you interest. You know about this. You know what this is called, a finance charge. This is how they make money, okay? They get whatever money they allowed you to pay back in addition to possibly a finance charge. If it takes you a long time to pay that credit card bill down, you are spending a lot of extra money in the form of interest to the card company, because every month that you don't pay your entire balance off, they're going to keep charging you interest. And we're going to see how that adds up. So one thing that I do want to introduce to you, and it might have been in some other videos, is the idea of a minimum payment. The minimum payment is the minimum amount of money that the credit card company allows you to pay each month on your bill. Okay, this is the smallest amount possible before you get into trouble with them. So what we want to think about right now is if you're making large purchases with a credit card and you aim to pay the credit card company back in installments, like a little bit each month. First of all, we got to think about how long it will take you to pay your bill if you only pay some of it each month. You also have to consider how much money and interest are you paying in addition to whatever the cost of the object is, and how much did how much did it cost in total? Those are the three things you got to think about. We're going to assume for these situations that you're not making any new purchases, like you only bought this one big thing and you're paying it off. If you do make new purchases during this time, just imagine your debt and the amount you owe going up even more. So again, the situation is you're paying for something. You're not paying the whole amount right away on that first credit card bill. You're instead paying, let's say, the minimum monthly payment. Okay? What you're first going to do, and we're going to do some examples on the back, and this will kind of make these steps a little more clear. You're going to take the unpaid balance, and from that calculate the finance charge, how much interest you have to pay to the credit card company. You're going to add that finance charge to your unpaid balance. Then you subtract your next payment, get your remaining balance, take the remaining unpaid balance, calculate the finance charge, add the finance charge back to your unpaid balance, subtract whatever your next payment is going to be, and keep repeating until the balance is zero. It's very wordy, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at an example. Okay? So this first example, we got two of them that we'll see today. You charge a new TV to your credit card. It's $1,000, and you plan on paying $200 a month towards it. So some simple math kind of shows you, if you aren't aware of finance charges, oh, well, the simple math shows me that I should have this paid off in 5 months. Easy. Well, it doesn't quite work like that because of the extra money you have to pay due to interest. So let's say you bought that TV. You plan on paying $200 a month towards it. So you get a charge on your credit card for $1,000, and you make a $200 payment towards it. Because this is just the first month, there is no finance charge for the first month because they're giving you the chance to pay it all off. So right now, for the finance charge, there is nothing. So we're going to write 0 there for just the first month. And then we see that if we have an unpaid balance of $1,000, we made a payment of $200 towards that reduces our debt down to $800. $1,000 minus $200 is $800. Okay, I'll do that in the calculator, I suppose. 1,000 minus 200, 800. Okay, so now, what the next step is to do, if you go back to those steps, we're going to take the remaining balance. That's now your new unpaid balance for the next month, okay? Whatever was remaining at the end of month 1 becomes your unpaid balance for month 2. And based on this, we're going to calculate the finance charge. Now, this says that our finance charge, the credit card has a 24% annual percentage rating, an APR, which divided by 12 is a 2% monthly finance charge. So basically what the bank is saying, or the credit card company is saying, is that after you haven't paid off the whole thing, now every month that you don't pay off the full thing, we're going to take 2% of your unpaid balance and put it back on. So we need to figure out what 2% of 800 is. Remember how to do percents. You take 2, divided by 100, 0.02, times the unpaid balance, 16. So 2% of 800 is $16. That means the bank is charging you a finance charge of $16, okay, because you haven't paid everything off. This is how they make money. You now have to pay an additional $16 in addition to the $1,000 that you already have to pay off. Now, if you have an unpaid balance of $800, you add a finance charge of $16, but you make a payment of $200, 800 plus your finance charge is 16 minus 200. Your remaining balance that you still have to pay off is $616. Now think about this for a second. You've already paid $400. If you didn't have finance charges to worry about, you'd say, oh, I only have $600 left to pay off. But no, you have $616 left to pay off. Again, we're going to bring our remaining balance from month 2. That's now our unpaid balance from month 3. $616. We still haven't paid everything off, so we need to calculate the next finance charge. 2% of 616 is $12.32. Okay? That's getting added to your unpaid balance. So $12.32 plus 616 is $628.32. You did make a $200 payment. So now you owe $428.32. We repeat the process. Your remaining balance from month 3 becomes your unpaid balance from month 4. $428.32. We need to multiply that by our 2% interest rate, which again, remember, that was 0.02 once we convert it. And we're going to round this to the nearest cent. So this is going to become, the finance charge is $8.57. Notice that your finance charge is going down after that second month because you owe less and less money, but it's still extra money that you have to pay. So we take $8.57, add it to $428.32, and subtract 200. We now only owe $236.89. Again, one more time, the remaining balance from month 4 becomes the unpaid balance from month 5, from which the finance charge is calculated, times 0.02. Your finance charge for this month is $4.74, rounding to the nearest cent. $4.74 plus $236.89 minus $200 payment. You still have $41.63 left to pay off. Remember, we said at the beginning, if you bought a $1,000 TV and you made monthly payments of $200 on it, you would think that would be paid off after 5 months. But look, at the end of 5 months, you still have $41.63 left to pay off. And that's not even calculating, you still have a finance charge. Okay? So you have to think about these finance charges when you make these sorts of payments. Once again, for month 6, our unpaid balance is $41.63. That's going to incur a finance charge of 83 cents, which is tiny, but again, think about this is extra money you didn't have to pay. And then we're just trying to get to the remaining balance of 0. So if I still owe $41.63 from the original payment, and I have a finance charge of 83 cents. That means I still owe them $42.46. I'm not going to pay them an extra $200. All I'm going to do is pay them what I owe, $42.46. And if I take $41.63, add 0.83 to it, and then I pay off $42.46, I now don't owe anything else. So again, remember, just like we practiced before, the finance charge is a percentage of the unpaid balance. To get the remaining balance, take your unpaid balance, add the finance charge, subtract the payment. That's your remaining balance, and it becomes your unpaid balance for the next month. So how much extra have you paid for the TV using your credit card? Well, let's look at the payments. $200, $400, $600, $800, $1,000, plus the $42.46. Okay? So what that means is the TV that originally was going to cost you just $1,000, you ended up paying over $40 more for it. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's like maybe a nice meal at a restaurant or something. So, and imagine if it's even bigger purchases, or if you don't make as big a monthly payment, that number that you owe is going to go up a lot more. Let's try this one more time. You charge a new iPad to your credit card. It's $400, and you plan on paying $100 a month towards it. So if we're not thinking about finance charges, you might think, oh, it'll just take me 4 months to pay off. I pay $400, easy. Your credit card has an 18% APR, which is a 1.5% monthly finance charge. Okay, great. The first month, you buy the iPad. You haven't had a month to pay it off yet, so there's not going to be any sort of finance charge. And this first month is always different from the rest. So there's no finance charge for the first month. Your payment is $100, and as we know, 400 minus 100 is $300. That's your remaining balance for month 2, though. You still owe that $300. And now, because you haven't paid everything off, you get a finance charge. Your finance charge is 1.5% of what you still owe. 1.5%, written as a decimal, is 0.015. We're going to multiply that by 300. And we get a finance charge of $4.50. That's $4.50 extra that you owe to the credit card company. Okay? So we're going to take that $4.50, add 300, your still unpaid balance, minus how much payment you made. Well, you still owe, at this stage, $204.50. Your remaining balance at the end of month 2 is now your unpaid balance for month 3. Okay? What remains is still unpaid. We're going to calculate the finance charge again. 1.5%, remember, was 0.015, so we multiply the unpaid balance by 0.015. And that turns into $3.07 extra. We're going to take the $204.50 that you had for an unpaid balance, add the finance charge of $3.07. Your remaining balance is, I almost forgot, I have to subtract the payment. Minus the payment of $100 is $107.57. Again, that's the remaining balance at the end of month 3. That means it'll be the unpaid balance used to calculate the finance charge in month 4. We multiply by our monthly finance charge rate, so we can get our finance charge of just $1.61 this time. But that $1.61 is going to get added to our unpaid balance, $109.18, minus our payment of $100. We still owe, at the end of that 4th month, $9.18. I wrote that. It's kind of ugly. $9.18. We still have to pay that off, and because we didn't pay the whole thing off, there will be a finance charge. Finance charge is about 14 cents. So we still owe on this $9.18 plus 14 cents means $9.32. Our final payment is going to be $9.32 to fully pay that off. We look at our total cost, 400, 100, 200, 300, 400, and an extra $9.32. So when you buy things with a credit card, you have to be aware that if you don't pay everything off all at once, you will be paying more money for whatever you're buying. And you don't want that. Okay, you really, really don't want that. You want to try to pay everything off as soon as you can. The quicker you pay things off and the bigger you make your payments, then that means that you're not going to have as much in finance charges because you'll be done paying quicker and you'll always have a smaller unpaid balance to calculate from. That doesn't mean, you do have to kind of, judge things, and you shouldn't be paying more than you can afford for monthly payments, but you should try and make your monthly payments as big as possible without causing financial stress in other areas. That's it for today. We're going to see some examples of this in the future. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me. I'm happy to answer them. Okay?